Yeah, obviously one of the best offenses in the country, and to go along with a really good defense. I'd say you have a good team is when you have an efficient offense and a good defense, a good coach, experience. They have a lot of experience, not just in years but also together. So obviously guys like Crowell and Klesmet, John Blackwell, even though he's in his second year, has obviously had a lot of minutes there. And then Tanji's completed him. He's really completed him. Nolan Winters really helped with it. The guys off the bench, McGee's made a lot of strides and played better, but also had more. Has really forced his hand. And that's what you want to see in a player when he transfers. He doesn't play, then he plays a little bit. Now they have a tough time when he plays well, taking him off the court because he puts pressure on the ball. He's around the ball. He gets long rebounds. He makes 50% of his threes. So a really good piece for them off the bench. But they have a good team. They have a skilled team. They have a good offense. They make 10 threes a game. They can drive the basketball. So they're just not a team that kind of sits out there and wants threes. They don't hunt their threes unless you're going to give it to them. You're going to give it to them. Like, you got to really break their rhythm because teams that average 10 threes, obviously, for every game that they hit 6, they hit 14, right? And so that's an average. And just trying to help you guys with your math, especially if we got some public school guys. So I think that is a big key for us is if you allow them to get in transition, you allow them to freely move the basketball. Like, they might have some struggles here and there, but during the course of that game, they get to it. And I think you've seen that in some of their games. Like, they just kind of are getting through the games. They've had a couple blitzkrieks where they just start off right away and they just annihilate somebody. So they show that, kind of like Illinois can do. They just show that ability just to skunk somebody real quick. And sometimes, shots don't fall and it doesn't go that way. And 20, 25, 30 minutes into the game, now they kind of catch fire and all of a sudden they go 4 for 5 from 3. They get to the free throw line, and then you look up and they were down 4 and they're up 8. And they've changed the course of the game. And they're a great late game at dictating tempo and playing. And they can play, it's a little different. He's really adjusted to the personnel that he has, and they are attacking you in transition. They're coming at you in transition. So you got to get your defense set and not allow that, where that didn't happen a whole lot before. You knew, unless you just turned it over or handed them an opportunity, that they were going to make you play in the half court. And that's a dangerous offensive team when you're great in transition and you're great in the half court, which they are.
What makes them good defensively? Is it typical Wisconsin, good offense, leading good defense?
Yeah, they're well schooled, man. They're in position. They defend it how they normally defend it. They get into the basketball. They make it tough for you to score off of cuts. They bottle up the paint. They have active hands. They have guys with experience that understand rotations when they have to rotate. They try their best to stay out of rotations, but just a well-schooled team on both ends.
What's going to be the critical piece of the matchup with Tanji? He'd be someone that seems
Yeah.
like it challenges the depth that you guys, the versatility
Right.
you guys
Like,
have.
anytime you have a dangerous player like Tanji and Blackwell, because I think both of those guys are really dangerous, you can't forget about the other guys like Klesmet. Klesmet's a guy that can get 4 to 6 points. He can get 24 to 26 points. Like, he's had big-time games throughout his career. He's great at kind of picking his time when to be aggressive. But then, Crowell is a part of the game. Winter's a part of the game. So it's not just Blackwell and Tanji, but Blackwell and Tanji can get you 25 to 30. They both can shoot it, so they make you get up on them and break their rhythm, but then they're good at driving and getting to the rim. Tanji is fabulous at getting to the free throw line. He knifes in there and does a good job. He's kind of that two-way guy in terms of the way going left, going right, changing direction, step back threes. Just dangerous game. You got to make both of those guys make tough shots. Doesn't mean that they can't, because they've proven that they can, but you got to make it hard on them. You got to make them earn it. But if it's no similar than like Johnny Davis when they came in here and beat us like 3-4 years ago. It's like, he gets 6 breakaway dunks. We foul him. We leave him open. Like, it was a comedy of errors, and they obviously win because of it. But you got to make it harder on a great player. It doesn't mean a great player can't go and score the basketball. That's what makes him great. You just got to make it difficult.